Alright, we are recording yet again. I am super excited about this episode. One, I guess, to prove to the people that I did not keep them. Held ransom. Said ransom has been paid. That is cookies. Because, we're all about the health here.
Absolutely.
Actually, since I came from the Girl Scouts, I gotta be healthy. I'm gonna roll with that. But yeah. Super excited about this episode. So many things to talk about, from rewatching some of it right now. Actually, I really wanted to rewatch the first two matches, but Oklahoma State versus Iowa could be an episode in and of itself. See, this is where, like, we got it on the other screen over here. This is where I was kind of like, oh my goodness, he defers, and I really thought he was going to take top or neutral here.
Yeah. And
then he goes,
every time I think of Piccinini, I think of, what was it, Gilman. They were shaking hands, and he was like, see you at NCAA.
Yeah, and
he was like, I'm the last person you want to see around.
Yeah, Gilman's tidbits are awesome, but, like, he chooses bottom there, and notice, like, how far over he was, though.
Yeah,
like,
that was one thing that weirded me. It's kind of like last year. Remember when Zane lined up with hand on the wrist instead of the elbow?
Yeah. But no, technically what Piccinini did was legal, though. He was down on his knee. He was already prepared for which way he was going. Like, he was looking at it, and he's like, he's going to come on this side. He go cross wrist. I'm already going to put myself to a position where I'm trying to eke out a little bit. It's kind of like when I hit a Granby. If I know I'm going to hit a Granby, you'll see me with my feet already windshield wiper out before I even go to it.
See, I think right there, to the extent he was leaning it.
Like right here again. Yeah, you see how, like...
He was doing it the match, but...
Now there's the caution here, which that's fine. But you can see he's already ready to turn in.
Yeah.
That's how much he's looked at this and was like, he's like, I'm already going that way.
It looks like a cat. Like you're getting real close to.
He's almost kind of like, not really a cat drill, but he's he's trying to clear out of that already. But so as you can tell, like I said, we could talk about almost this match for the entire episode, but this duel, everything. But I want to talk about this duel, talk about the seeding mayhem of what potentially 125 and 133 could be like.
Oh my goodness, I don't even want to attempt.
Do you still? I mean, I can't wait to see the brackets. We haven't even got to our conference tournaments, and I can't wait to see the brackets when they come out, and I can't wait to fill them out. I can't wait to decide, our show before the tournament starts, how closely we are still to...
We'll probably just do you just want to do like a Big Ten one? Because that seems like, for the conference, like do like a Big Ten Conference Championship episode? Or...
No, that'd be cool. Yeah, so we do Big Ten Conference Championship, Southern Conference Championship, because,
we can do
that's
ACC
Big Ten.
Maybe.
Southern Conference is, real big. And no.
Yeah. Of course it is.
But yeah, so looking forward to doing, I don't know if we were going to look at doing all the conferences, but
I say we could probably do...
Well, Big Ten's obviously huge.
Yeah, we're going to have to
so
do
many
Big Ten.
Seeding implications for everything there.
You're going to have to do Big Ten. I say we can probably do just to kind of homer out, do ACC maybe, and then maybe we can do who else could we do?
He's effing out there. And I didn't realize until just now, looking at the clock, like, how far into the second period this was.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier.
It felt like it happened, like, almost right away, like, after it happened. But, so, talking about that...
It's tied right now, but...
Oh, because of riding time here?
Yeah. But it's right here.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to have to show you some clips.
Mm-hmm. Completely bad radio, but...
Oh, my goodness.
But the way...
See, that is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen.
I did not realize that there was only 5 seconds left in that period. But how hyped up John Smith was.
I was going to say, that picture you got of him was amazing.
Yeah, it was even just a little bit blurry, but, like, oh my goodness. That was, like, that moment right there was something of beauty in and of itself. Just John Smith that fired up. I think that was amazing. Dude, I did not realize that it was only 5 seconds left in the period.
See, they didn't shake hands.
No, they did, just real briefly. They just smacked hands real quick. That's all it took. So, just touch hands. They were out. All right, bye.
Yeah, that's one thing before we get into the other match. I was mentioning it before we even started that It's like I was agreeing with someone about this. This could be a good thing for Lee. Let him go ahead and get these 2 losses now instead of if he would have gone into NCAA's like undefeated or anything. By the way, that he shelved that foot. That's beautiful, so he couldn't get that back.
Oh gosh, it was just
on that single. But yeah, he let him go ahead and get out of his system now, because if he would have gone into NCAA's undefeated, then you kind of got that pressure. At least now he's out of the.
this one.
He's kind of out of the. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
He's gotten it over with now.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose for him.
Yeah.
I guess, but Chandler Rogers is pretty good. Where's all the videos of this? Because I wanted to watch obviously our next match too. So, yeah. What I was wondering about though is kind of like it's one of those things like how much of it changes. Like, you still got Lee picked to win. I guess we kind of get right into things too. Like we kind of.
I don't know right now, honestly. No, I really don't know right now, just because I don't know. I want to see what happens. I want to see how he looks at Big Tens first before I say anything.
Oh really?
Yeah, I feel like once I see him at Big Tens, you might get a better look. He might be going through kind of that sophomore phase. The sophomore slump. A lot of people. It's not even like it's a slump. I mean, the man only lost twice this year.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I want to stay with my man, but at the same time, I mean,
the way I looked at it was like, up until that match, I still had, I think, Lee to win. I think Lee can beat Riviera or Seabass.
yeah.
And then I think the other matches would be tough. But watching Piccinini wrestle, like, it'd be weird for me to change from. I think I had Lee picked as well at 25. But if I do pick anybody else, I think it'll be Piccinini. He's been undefeated this year.
Yeah,
he's wrestled tough. He's wrestled hard. He's wrestled like a man on a mission.
Impressive.
He's scouted Lee. I don't think that Riviera imposes as much of a threat or danger as Lee does to him.
Yeah.
Stylistically. So the
What
fun.
about what's his name from beat Lee last year too? He does Bresser.
Bresser? Yeah, I forgot. Bresser's still up in the mix there.
So we
And
can't-
then Pat Glory. I mean, I still think the weight is stacked. It's going to be a good weight. But I'm going to have to think about if I want to
So
go
by the
with...
way, we're watching DeSanto and Fix again.
Yeah. But I guess my thought is like, man, am I going with Pitch or am I going to go with Lee? For me, that's the two race. I think what's going to happen, it's going to be interesting, is see what happens with...
That much.
Yeah, you turn it down a little bit.
I was going to do a little bit, just in case they didn't get over on the mic. I don't want to hit copyright.
Yeah. So...
Flo already steals their stuff, so...
Yeah, wait, which copyright, theirs or ours? No. So, but I was gonna say, I think that with those two, like I think it's those two, but it's gonna depend on what happens with Big Tens when Lee meets Rivera again. Who's gonna beat who? It's probably Madeline or the dogs are playing with something over there. Who's gonna end up winning Big Tens, and then how does that affect seeding, and then who's on whose side? You know what I mean?
Seeding can play a big part in it, because if you have...
are Riviera and Lee gonna be separated out like 1 and 2, or where's Piccinini is like whose side is Pitch gonna be on? Like who's gonna be where is gonna be like the thing that I think will be my ultimate deciding factor on how that goes.
Yeah, because I mean they're very well you can have two guys meet up on the wrong side of the bracket.
Yeah.
that both could
meet up round of 12 or
I mean something can happen. We just gotta see the bracket,
the round of 8 or whichever. But yeah,
we can just do what we did last year, do like 2 different shows, combine them together, and then have our one together as well.
Oh yeah, that worked out pretty well last year.
Yeah, it did.
So all right, yeah, I think we probably we'll plan for that again. But another thing, the other weight I was going to talk about is this weight right
33.
here. Like right now, for me, I remember I had Siriano picked. Yeah, he's lost twice, but I haven't seen much to make me change my mind on Siriano. And this is going to sound really interesting. If I did change my mind from Siriano, I'm not going to Michik. I'm going to Fix.
Yeah.
In my mind. But just based off of pure, what do you call it? Not intuition or not anything else, but just based off of sheer gut and desire and anger. Not mine, but his.
Sando?
DeSanto.
The
So,
guy, he's got what the mob calls moxie.
you know, the dude, like I said before, jokingly around, said he might mess around and win this thing. This loss right here, I don't think really would have changed how he wrestled.
No.
But the fact that one
it-
thing happened that has created an internet sensation of DeSanto in a way that we did not expect to have happen all year long.
Yeah.
That particular meme, group of memes, that image,
He's not
I
gonna
think,
forget it.
is going to put a fire. I mean, like
Like
is
he
it
doesn't
wrong?
already have
No,
a fire.
not like he
under him.
doesn't already. But have you not seen like how he does wrestle when something
Mhm.
does get out there and is hyped up? Like he is that much more of a man on the mission. So, but the question
He's
will
a
be though,
psychopath. Like he gets
is
out there and he puts a pace
he
on
wants
you.
to. But here's the kicker. I think it's got to be the perfect storm for him. Like he's got to be on the opposite side of the bracket as Fix, and he's got to be like, I'm going to see Fix in the finals.
Yeah, and then we have to see what happens with him and Suriano if he has to see.
I think he obliterates everybody on his way to Fix in his mindset right now. He does not have him
Yeah.
focus on anybody but Fix now, and after that, he just wants that back, and he wants to erase that meme. So, like I said, but if they're on the same side of the bracket, you know, I'm not saying that he would meet Fix and beat Fix again or anything. I still might pick Fix to win it all, but I could see like him like losing steam after wrestling Fix again.
Yeah.
Like be like, oh, geez, and then okay, I'm done.
Yeah, he's
wait.
kind of like Hulk smash right now.
You know, like he's going to smash everybody on his way to him, and yeah, that just kind of I don't know. Like I said, he's going to be a man on a mission, and he is going to be ready.
You know what's
to
funny?
go.
I would tell you maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago, we were just complaining about how there's no storylines this year. We were saying there's there's been nothing really to get us too excited. Like back in NCAA, now it's getting down to like conference championship time, and NCAA's will be coming up in here soon. Actually, holy
Yeah.
cow,
Yeah.
snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause March 1st is tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, now we're coming into NCAA's, and we got some things we want to see.
Yeah.
Not only the seeding, there's some matchups we want to see. I mean, I'm excited. I'm sure you.
Oh
you
man,
better
yeah,
be.
like no, I mean.
Oh yeah,
no
someone
doubt.
asked me last night too. By the way, they were talking about college basketball. And they're like, "You ready for March Madness?"
No,
I was like, "What?"
no,
What?
not at all.
I was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "I like basketball, but I don't like college basketball." And they're like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because there's only one March Madness, and it's not even madness; it's madness."
Yes, March Madness is coming, and I can't wait. Like I'm getting geeked out about it. Like in a way that like, so. See, how's that not two?
I don't know.
He's got a leg hooked. He's around. He's sitting there. Maybe he didn't climb the back enough for him.
Maybe he didn't.
You know.
If he would have hooked that one leg completely with his foot
All
or
right.
something.
So this can go ahead and lead. Well, all right. So I'm trying to like focus our thoughts. Trying to wrestle or not wrestle. Watch the wrestling match. I guess I'm wrestling my mind. But all right, watch the wrestling match and do our show. Maybe isn't the best thing for us.
No,
although
it's perfect. It's
yeah.
perfect.
Okay. So it is perfect. It's the greatest thing. So one, we were saying I'm so ready for March Madness. Part of it was we did have state. Amanda Malik placed second. Super excited. You know, not to say like super disappointed, but you know, obviously we wanted first though. He's got to the finals, but you know, also super excited for everything he accomplished this year. So it was a great year for him. It was a good end of the year. You know, to play second in state is nothing to complain about with by any means. But at first I was kind of like, I was like a little depressed because I was like, that means it's over now. But then it didn't take too long for me to quickly realize that I was like, never mind. I am happy again because we have March Madness coming around. We got Locking Hands season, which is our end season coming up real soon.
Which we may do some tech casts on that. I know
Yes.
I texted you about that.
Yes.
I really think we should. Might as well, you know.
So, and actually it seems to work out. I think we might almost have more time for tech casts in our end season versus the, regular season. I don't even call one of them an off season. There's no off season. It's in season and regular season. So we dubbed that right here, right now. So when somebody else tries to steal that, you know where they got it from too. So we might have more time for our in season
Or
during our
locking
in
hand
season.
season.
Yeah, locking hand season. Which I can't say we coined that one because I've seen that one before. But I love it anytime it's used because I do love locking hands.
Start using it.
Yep, it is a great thing. But I was gonna say, I was disappointed with the end of the season, because getting sad about it, not with how things went, but that I thought season was ending, but then quickly realized how much wrestling we've got going on.
Good gracious, those hooks, the boots he threw in.
He throws the boots in, and he's a brutal
That hip
top
pressure.
rider.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And right now, okay, so I'm trying to watch the point. Right now, he's still riding hard. He's working on getting that arm out. I'm wondering at what point in time, like, when you're riding boots like that, does it happen here coming up? When he arches up and gets them? Like, is he just right? Now, this is the difference between college and high school. Okay? Now, he's riding pretty hard. He's working to get an arm out. His legs come out. He's coming off to the side here. College wrestling on top is a different game than it is in high school in the sense that, in a way, they are riding for riding time. He's trying to put boots in. He's trying to get that riding point. In high school, though, it kind of drives me crazy when the top person isn't trying to turn somebody.
Yeah.
And then the bottom guy gets hit for stalling or something. Like, I want to see, the top guy as well as the bottom guy get hit for stalling, or just call it what it is, maybe a stalemate and get back up to their feet. But I'm just waiting for the moment to happen again. So, yeah. Oh,
There it comes.
that.
That was a rear naked choke.
Uh,
That's wrestling. That's called a crossface. That just
It
happened
is.
to be around the neck.
when Michik lost his mind. See, it is MMA. Oh wait, sorry, Michik. But so I was kind of upset about.
You ever seen Thor Ragnarok?
Oh,
You know that
yeah.
scene when he's fighting in the arena against the Hulk and Loki's
Yeah,
like,
you know how
that's
it
what. Yeah,
feels
that,
like.
I see.
That's what it feels
Michich.
like.
He's like, that's what that feels like.
That's what it feels like.
That's what I was picturing the entire time in my head.
Yes, most definitely. We should make a meme of that. That's what it feels like. Huh? Have Michik in the armbar,
Yeah.
and then that scene, and then not quite the same, but pretty much the same. So
He's like, sorry, I'm just a big fan.
yeah. So
Uh,
I was disappointed in that. And then the other thing I was going to get into was like high school wrestling at the state tournament was like we've talked about officials,
Yeah.
right? And my tie into this match here was
oh, no, what did
it
I
was.
just-
Oh, you clicked on that.
Yeah, I meant to.
There's an X, right? It'll be hover your mouse down there. Yeah, you go.
Oh, there.
Like it's one thing. At the state tournament, it was almost absurd. Like we're
Yeah.
sitting there at the state tournament.
Did you find out
and-
what was up those mats?
Yeah, I think the New Way, which is or the South Carolina Skyway or whichever.
Yeah.
I think the organization started up in Michigan.
Okay.
So like the owner of that, and I think they were helping host the tournament.
Yeah.
So since they're from that area, and I think they were gonna have another tournament around here somewhere, so they had the link in to have all those mats up there.
I mean, just all the Michigan
I mean-
schools to use. Why Michigan State?
Yeah, well, I mean, because they're not using them for anything like that.
Obviously not.
Was that a stab at their wrestling program? Not being very good. I mean, so they might as well use theirs and Maryland's. But sorry. I mean, but it's true though. Those are two Big Ten schools that historically have not, for whatever reason, been competitive Big Ten teams. And I don't think it's due to lack of funding, resource, nothing. I think it's just they're probably one of the schools that hey, your wrestlers are here and they're not getting in trouble, and you may not be winning football. We'll make money elsewhere because it's never going to be the money making sport. But you're not making us look bad in the sense of you're not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But they're not producing as far as I mean, heck, if Kel Sanderson had their streak, they'd find a new coach at Penn State.
Yeah.
Iowa. I mean, there's always been talk about the Brands brothers, they're kind of gods there in gold, but if they just keep on losing, then they'll find, what I mean? So it's kind of interesting with those programs in the Big Ten, with being in one of the toughest probably wrestling conference
Oh,
there
yeah,
is.
probably.
It's,
That's 100%.
It's how can you not be competitive in that program? It's is there a school in the SEC who is not competitive in football?
Yes.
Who?
Vanderbilt. Kentucky last year was pretty good, but usually Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Kentucky.
But
There's
here's the kicker,
there's a
though.
few.
There's a few that are not competitive like that. But what happens? They get new coaches. They fire the coaches. And they get new ones. Except for mine's Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt I can almost get because of it's almost private institution, money, smarts. It's kind of on a different level. But it's not like they still don't pull in coaches that try to win.
Yeah, I mean, but so do a lot of other conferences too. I mean, it's weird because for the SEC in football, you always have the same.
You
three
have
or
the
four
same
people.
you have the same 3 or 4 powerhouses, but
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a Clemson fan, but we can use South Carolina for example. It's not like they've been complacent with like losing and keeping the same coaching staff around. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe they have flip flopped that coaching staff around. But as much as we watch that carousel of coaches, I think we would know when Michigan State has a new wrestling coach because or when Maryland, hey, they finally got somebody. We
Yeah.
haven't seen that. South Carolina, you got to admit, they may not be winning, but it's not like they haven't tried to find new coaches to get into the system. That's kind of my issue with those teams in the Big Ten is like, why not? Why haven't we tried to find somebody who is willing to step out and go out and do that? Speaking of coaches, Barry Davis from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So we got Kyle Rochelle at Chattanooga. You knew I was going to find a way to go.
Of course. I was
So
waiting for it.
Yeah, so we got Kyle Rochelle over at Chattanooga doing really good things. Beat Campbell to tie for the regular season dual conference championship. And Barry Davis came down once and was like talking to the team and stuff. But I was watching through some of their stories. And again, I was like, dude's back in the room again. And it's fun to watch him. Like, he's in the room, like, he's on the side, like, talking to the coaches. And then all of a sudden you see him like, no. And he just can't help it. I don't, like, but talk about, like, dude, you can't, like, get, like, better retired coaches like just in the room to like take advice from and stuff. I'm like, so
it's like
as much as I loved being there
knowledge.
and when I was there and stuff like that, and as much as I this ain't a dig at anybody, but I loved Heath and everything, but just getting somebody with names that know those kind of people, like it's kind of cool when they come in. And it's not that it hadn't happened before, but just watching it now on social media and timing and getting to see it all, but it's so cool to see him in there and like helping out and like pointing
makes
things
you wish
out.
you were, like,
and like it kind of makes you wish you were back to it again. Like I always kind of hated it. I was like, I missed Terry by like a year. I was like, man, what could have been any dumber in like 30 years or something?
Right.
Like right. Like I don't know if I can get any dumber, but so but well, I need like like a couple more years. Well, actually, I still think I maybe have like half a year of eligibility left somewhere. If we can do that, I don't know. Can you do half years? Whatever. So
I thought about that. I'm sitting here thinking. I was like, man, you know what?
But it was just cool to see that type of thing. So anyway, looping it all back around from we were talking the state tournament. I was like, where did we get all the way over here? We went
Oh yeah, because we started talking about Michigan State.
Michigan State, the Mats coaches. All right, so back to the state
tournament. I was wondering
tournament.
how we got here. I was like,
dude, that was a circle. That was a journey. That was nice.
I was like, we were supposed to get here from here, and we went like,
yeah.
there.
So, but what I was gonna say is like the coaching. Like I had not been to a tournament like this year's state tournament where there were so many coaching misconduct calls.
Really?
And it was
it
weird.
Just quick? Was it just like the refs short fuse, or was it like just?
No, it was weird because you'd be watching a match and you'd maybe see like somebody question the official and you don't think anything's happened, and then all of a sudden you're watching the next match and then over the intercom, would a coach from so and so come to the head table to get your coach's misconduct verification? So it was just like going through and I was like, dude, they're like hitting people left and right, like left, right, and I'm like, and then you watch a match and you see a coach yelling at somebody or something happening, I'm like, he's about to get one, and I'm waiting. I'm like, how come they never called him? How come they never called his name? So maybe it might be the map that we were on and stuff, but it goes back to like what we were saying of like how it seems like the way they've got it set up is not a fair system.
No, it's not.
And actually, I was talking with Coach G about it, and he's like, and he was right.
It depends on the temperament of the ref.
The temperament of the ref, but I think what it was originally designed for is like our high school league kind of follows like national standards as far as like how to approach the coaches and do all that. I think this was based off of there are other states where where the coaches approach the officials with flying F-bombs and everything else over the tiniest little calls. So I get it where maybe in those states there needs to be a thing of that has in the bylaws where it says you cannot question a judgment call. You can maybe ask, it's kind of in those cases protecting the officials. Because I'm like, dude, there's no call for that. Like, the officials don't deserve to be harassed that nature, and those coaches should know better, and they're just flying off the handle getting after people. But in our state, we, for the most part, don't have coaches that are, even our boy Cam, he's asking for something. I mean, he ain't starting off
I would
with,
love to see him up north somewhere.
he's not even starting off with F-bombs or yelling at the he's like, can I have a word with you? Can I have a question? And he knows the way the deal is, so he tries to do it right and still might get dinged with it. But it's unfair in our system where those rules are meant to protect officials. In our case, our officials don't need protecting, and all it's doing is separating like a tier class of like them being better than us. And it should be a common dialogue. And yes, at the end of the day, you're going to make your judgment call, but I shouldn't get penalized or hurt for asking a question and trying to look out for my guy.
Absolutely.
And that blows my mind, and it
I will
actually
say this,
infuriates me.
you mentioned Cam. He always is like a source of entertainment at the tournament. Like just kind of
At Clover?
Yeah, you just kind of like
just at Clover.
you just kind of meander around one of his matches and then
Yeah.
just
Well, I mean,
wait for him to say
heck,
something.
what, you guys were always calling me petty, so you know, so I'm always
Yeah, I'll see if I see a ref and coach getting into something. Usually I can look about it in like a 5 or 6 foot span, and then I'll see you around there somewhere, around the table looking at it, like kind of. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can't help but find my way that way.
He's just like throwing fuel on the fire.
Just pretty being petty, you know.
Maybe if they can get enough dock them enough points, we can win this tournament.
I'm like, we'll burn everybody else down. Hey, we're the only ones left in the tournament.
Seth Rollins burning down.
You know? So that was kind of my thought on that. And then, like, in our finals match, I wasn't happy about calls. Ambiguous stalling calls coming out of nowhere. And, so calls that are causing points to be given out and change the outcome of the match. So I wasn't overly happy with that part of the officiating, which, like I said, with my tie into what we were watching over there, that was like, man, can you imagine having been that official in that environment? And what's funny to me, again, and the rules that we have are meant to protect the officials. Like, this poor dude needed it. Like, anytime something was going on, like, both coaches are at the table and they're just yelling.
And those are two coaches you don't want to piss off. And they're on either side of each other now. So
and they're passionate.
Yeah.
So anytime one came to the table, like, did you notice, like, the other one was running to the table? Yeah. And then you're like, da-da-da-da-da. I think finally there was one warning issue to, I think John Smith and his bench. It was like, all right, coaches need to. It wasn't like a warning that caused a point, but I think there was something said, and they were like, again, they've been like across the mat to the table, like every other thing, you know. And there's something going on, you know. So
those are two coaches. I just don't want to get between, or in between, hearing them yell. Even if they're not yelling at each other,
I don't want to be between them and an official ever.
Yeah,
anywhere.
That's the perfect time when they need to adopt something from football and have the pullback guy.
Well, did you not see like they have them. You know, I think Morningstar is Tom's guy or Terry's guy or whoever, and then you saw him. He was pulling John Smith back over there.
The thing is, with that pullback guys, you have to get someone who's better than either Brands or Smith. So you have to make sure if your pullback guy, if the coach decides to turn around and snap, that you got someone who can hold their own.
Yeah,
not saying that can.
Well enough of okay, we're good, coach. You told me to do this, remember? Yeah. You hired me for this.
Don't snap at me.
You hired me for this.
Get a really big strength coach or something who can just lift him off the ground.
You know, so I think that's really funny, but so that's where I was with the officiating at our state tournament. A lot of people weren't happy with it, you know, myself included at times. I won't say the whole tournament was poorly officiated. There were just horrible calls all over the place. There were just enough for some reason it seemed like stalling was an issue, which means my guess is there must have been a discussion about it and how they wanted to call it. So. But in the other
calling it quick, calling it slow.
I
wasn't there, guys. Yeah. It's kind of a shocker. The one time that I wasn't at a wrestling.
I think it was kind of they were calling them quick, and they were almost using the high school, not high school, but college rules. It seemed like with it, and it was just kind of I don't know. It drove me crazy a little bit. There were issues where I was like, that's not stalling the wrestling, you know. Just things like that. So to me, I think that was the one source of it, and it hadn't really been called that way all year long for the most part at most of the tournaments we went to. Because let's put it this way: our guys wrestled the way they wrestled, and at the state tournament, it's not like they wrestled differently than they had been all year long. So for them to all of a sudden be having stall calls, and I think this was throughout. You know, you get guys that are all of a sudden now getting stall calls throughout. They were wrestling like this all year long and didn't get dinged any. You know, not just our guys,
so
but just the general nature of the athlete. Because you don't change what you do at state.
Yeah.
You do what you do because that's what got you to state. And then now all of a sudden people are getting dinged left and right for it, and they're like, "But I've been wrestling this way stylistically all year long. Why now?" So that's kind of one of my things with it. So that's where I was with that, with the stalling. Also at state, blew my mind. Just because not everybody that listens is from our state. I'm not gonna say names, but I hadn't seen this happen in jeez, I don't know how long. State finals. Imagine this. I felt so like bad for the kid. Like he's winning. It's like 14-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
He's about to tech this kid. He's on top. He goes to tilt him back.
Pinned himself.
In the state finals.
I would have given that kid a hug. Come here, bud. Come here. Bring it in.
Yeah, he probably would have snapped and broke your back.
He might have.
He was angry. Rightfully so, to be angry, but again, you can't be angry at anybody. I mean, but it was just like I was watching and I was like, oh, you know, and the crazy thing about it, it wasn't even one of those things where the other kid recognized what happened and was like trying to stop on either side or catch a head or trying to pin him. It was quite literally like he was just going for his final tilt and just laid down on his back. And like the referee was counting and it looked like the official stopped, saw that he was on his back and was like, got bad points. Like hesitated to even call the pin to like give him a chance to like go ahead and roll through, like almost everything but like roll through. You know, like he stopped
grabbing him and like tilting.
Yeah, you know, so it wasn't like he even like touch falled him, like, you know, where it could be controversial or anything. You know, like that's what I felt bad for. It's like, dude, at least like the kid didn't even have a chance to argue.
Well, see,
like
and that's different. If he gave you enough time, then it's like
he was like, and he had to do it, and it was right. But I was like, I couldn't believe that I saw it more or less at the state tournament,
see, if I was
more or less
ref,
at the finals in the state tournament.
If I was a ref, it'd be like those when you have the special guest referee in like wrestling, and they kind of go, they go to hit the mat, and you're just like. I can't do it to you, buddy, but I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, so that was kind of like to me one of the crazier moments of it, just talking about like weird things happening with it and all. So, but yeah, I don't know. I going back to the other stuff, like dude, I can't wait for conferences to come up. Those are coming up like I know some of the conferences like on the 10th, so I think that's like conference weekend. So right about that. So it's like right at not this weekend, but is that next weekend?
Big Tens or
yeah, like is that no the 10th like the calendar like. So is that like 2 weekends away? This weekend, then next weekend. So you know, conference tournaments. I'm looking forward to those. Can't wait to see those things.
Tickets and stuff. Let's go ahead and buy them. So it's March 9th. So that'd be
that weekend. Yeah. So
we'll be going to that. Not really.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So if anybody wants to send us tickets, anybody wants to send us tickets to Pittsburgh? Because have you heard about like that? Like
yeah, no, NCAA's is in Pennsylvania. So
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, because me and Quasi talked about going. Because I didn't go to Mania this year because I was thinking about saving up money to get tickets.
But no, so you hadn't heard about like apparently tickets this year like out the roof like cost wise as in comparison to like other years. So which is kind of good and bad. Like I think it's good in the sense that
it's not good on the year that I want to go.
No, it's not good on the year that we want to go. It's good that there's like a demand for it, like, and there's that much more of a public demand for it. I think what happened was. Like teams are allotted X number of tickets and coaches are allotted X number of tickets, and they wanted absurd amount of tickets that would actually be more than ticket spaces available. So one of the coaches didn't get all the tickets they wanted, so there was a good number that are for sale to the general public. But the venue that they're doing it in is a slightly smaller venue too.
I was about to say, I bet
so there's less. Yeah, so there's less room for people to be able to actually purchase tickets. So in a way, it's good that they're able to drive prices up, and it's good for the sport, and people want to sell it out. But I think hopefully it's got to rotate around to where St. Louis seems to be like the biggest place for it, where there's I think more affordable ticket pricing and stuff like that. So, and the other thing I was going to mention, like good and bad for the sport, was like I don't know. Did you see all the stuff lately about like whenever there's a big match like this one? Mm-hmm. And how people kind of like lose their minds about like flow and like this should be aired for free and this and that. Like, what's your kind of take on that? Like
big matches like that. I mean, absolutely. I feel like if you have big matches like that, that should be a primetime spot, especially because if your goal is to grow the sport, which that's our goal. Now, Flow's trying to, in a sense, monopolize it.
Sometimes I think that, but in this case, I'm almost siding with Flow and the fact that
I'm not. I feel like this should have been primetime TV. That way, you can pull in more of a casual audience, and they can see something. They're like, they see the intensity. Like anyone watching this, like, we're not casual wrestling fans, so we see that, and it's exciting to us just for what it is. But you get a casual wrestling fan, and they see the atmosphere that that match was in. They see the hype of like John Smith and the Brands brothers and all that. That would pull a lot of fans in, and I feel like
I think like when you say like, well, I don't know. See, like this is where like I kind of get finicky about it. One, it's like in today's day and time with how many people actually still watch TV versus like the generations that people are going to streaming and doing different things like that. I think that Flow having it is, you know, is great. But what I was gonna say though is like, you know, it's not like it was on Big Ten because it was.
Yeah.
It's not. What I'm saying is like it's not Flow's fault for having rights to this because nobody else wanted, or they outbid somebody else, or was willing to pay for the stream to not get this match. They didn't. You know, they get the thing with Pac-12, Big Ten. They play all the matches that the Big Ten doesn't air. And the other thing that I was gonna say though is like people are always like it should be on like TV and big time. Well, hell, I would wish Flow would just go ahead and like figure out a way to just have a channel on cable.
Now that would be great.
That would be
great.
the perfect scenario.
But the thing is, even in this day and age where there's a lot of subscriptions, a lot of people still do watch regular primetime TV, like cable TV.
They do, but here's the kicker. What I think all those people fail to remember is, guess what? You're still paying a cable bill.
Yeah.
So none of it's ever free. So you're paying for a service already. So you just want it to be on the service that you're paying for.
No, but
Which I completely get. We all want it to be on what we're paying for. But when people like get mad at Flow, and like sometimes I do realize I think Flow does kind of have a monopoly, but at the same time, like in a way, they've almost earned it in a sense. Who else was putting all this stuff out? And like to say like I think they've actually widened the audience of like people being able to watch things. Like, you know, sometimes we talk about like, dude, I'm having to catch up from wrestling to watch. Whereas before we could never find it. Like if we left it up to cable TV, it still wouldn't be on there. Cable's not trying to go air that match.
I mean,
ESPN's not trying to go air that match.
That's the thing. It's because right now we have no idea because Flow's the one showing it. We don't know if ESPN had any desire to try to air that match. Thing is more people still watch cable TV than subscription-based programs.
ESPN aired what? Penn State versus somebody, or they've aired like what 2 matches this year?
Again, but that also has to deal with Big Ten Network and Flow right now. So I mean, these are they've already got it. They're the ones showing it, but if they were able to, I'm sure they would.
I think more people should be focusing their anger at maybe the conferences then. Like, if that's where they want, then they need to talk to Big Ten about getting more matches on TV.
But then the only problem is then you're having to pay. So not only you're paying your cable bill, you're having to add another subscription and another one just to watch wrestling. Why not just make an actual network for the sport? And that's my thing. It's like I'm not blaming Flow.
Well, and actually, Flow's kind of doing that. But the only kicker is they're not on cable TV.
Exactly,
they're not on cable TV.
So why would you want to pay a cable bill and also Flow? This is gonna sound really bad, but if I had to choose between cable and Flow, I'm not gonna pay $150 like a year just so I can watch wrestling on one thing. Like I still like to watch other things. So obviously, more people are gonna go for the cable. That's why they need something that's on cable TV. Maybe Flow should get themselves a subscription package to put themselves on cable TV.
But on the flip side, though,
it's not their fault. But
on the flip side, though, too, like even the casual fan and whatnot, like, but WWE, like there's like
$9.99.
Yeah. So what is that? $120 a year.
Yeah.
You know.
But the difference is Flow you don't pay monthly, you pay outright.
Unfortunately, it's
a lot of people see
even though it is like it's 12 whatever a month.
Yeah, it's 12 something a month, which is like around the same as Netflix. But at the same time, when you get a bill and it says 150, like right then, some people may not have that money at once in their account. Yeah. Two, they see that and it kind of turns them away. They're like, I don't know. So
here's what you do, everybody. I got the answer for you. Is kind of what I do. It's a Christmas present. To yourself or from somebody else. What do you want for Christmas? I want my Flow subscription. I only got 20. That's perfect. Give it to me. I'll use it toward that. And it's kind of like what we do here.
I mean, I see what you're saying though. I don't blame Flow for what they've done. It's just I wish that, like, especially if you want to grow the sport, cable being on national TV is the way to do it. You're going to get to a bigger audience. You're going to get more casual fans. You'll have more diehard fans tune in.
It's kind of weird because I thought we would kind of almost be. With our age differences, if you can't tell, I mean, he is older than I am.
Absolutely, by at least 40 years.
Yeah. So, but our ages are flip flop. Though but it's interesting that like normally the older dude would be the one that's saying like more people on cable and stuff like that. I mean, you just kind of in a way like stereotyping it, but in my case, like I'm the one that's kind of the opposite with it. Like
it is weird, but But
I think more people. I do, but at the same time, I'm thinking more people are going to the streaming services, and like, I don't know. It's just like maybe it's just because my mindset has always been like I've hated cable since forever. I've always been like, dude, if I could pay for 10 channels, like this is before streaming was ever a thing. Like I used to always be like, if I could pay for 10 channels, I would be so happy, you know. And that's what kind of streaming has done. Like I have now chosen, and I was kind of arguing with someone. I was like, dude, I choose like if I wanted like Big Ten and ESPN, I mean like without like using that's something we need more passwords out there. People send me passwords in case anybody else's changes.
This is probably the worst thing, and I shouldn't admit it on air. I use the same password for pretty much everything, so I can't.
I think we all do though.
Yeah.
Don't we all like at school? Like it's the same.
Yeah.
All my school passwords are the same password because I'm at school. I don't want to remember except when they make you like add this or that to it.
My college did
so
that,
it's
so
like
I'm
doing
really?
It's my password with whatever they told me to add at the end
It's
of
like
it.
I'm not even kidding it. Upstate, I had to have one that has to have at least one
a number,
uppercase.
a capital letter, a symbol, and a like something. So
it gave me one uppercase, and it said you have to have lowercase letters as well, a symbol, and anywhere from 6 to 10 letters,
numbers,
and I was like, what? Like, there's no possible. Like, let me get out this random Wi-Fi password generator to find a password
all the
just
time.
for my it's stupid. It's stupid.
So, but that's what the way that is. Though, like, but I'm also like I argue with people. I'm like, people want things for free, which we all do, but yet
Big Ten Network, ESPN.
Yes, I want all those things for free.
You've already got them for free.
Heck, I'd take Flow for free if I could get it all for free. But at the same time, though, like people got to realize that somebody's paying for those. You know, you're paying for cable, and if you want Big Ten on cable, I'm gonna go out and say that you're not getting the baseline package because I remember when I had a baseline package of it before. It didn't include Big Ten, and that was another reason that like eventually led to my dropping of cable and whatnot. Is like, well, dadgum. The channels I do watch, again, if I watch 10 channels, they're not the baseline channels, it's the ones that are on this package. So I'm paying the bonus plus the original never to watch the other things. And, you know, it kind of stinks out there. I think that in this case, maybe if there's ways to appease the other people, like for Flo to come out with, and I think they did it with, did they do that with the Penn State? Ohio State match like 2 years ago, or what year? Like the servers crashed and everything. It was before I had Flow.
Yeah.
What match did they crash?
I forget what match.
Penn State, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it was I think it was like 3 years ago.
I think that was the Penn State Oklahoma State match. I think that was when.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I really gotta go.
All right.
I hate to do it. Usually I just hold it. Like, I've been drinking water.
Well, you had that big old jug over there too.
You don't even have to pause it. You can just like rant. This is like a.
Yeah, I think it was.
Within the actual
It was when they had that, and then I think they tried to do like a small like mini subscription. Like they said you could go ahead and order, you know, for this. Nah, I was gonna say fight and thinking UFC. Like you can order for this match, and like their system got flooded and it kind of crashed on everybody, and there were lots of people that were really upset. And it turned out to be a good thing for them in the sense that I think now they can handle much larger feeds and streaming amounts than they previously could. Their site's been updated since then and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm a fan of Flow. Maybe if for like some of these matches that when people start complaining about it, they can offer some sort of like, hey, for this week only, you know, pay $3, pay $5. I don't know, $5 for, you know, for this week, and you have everything on Flow that you wanted for, you know, binge watch Flow for a week for $5, and you can watch not only the match that's coming up on Friday, and then you can have everything else. Maybe that would appease the regular people, so they're not spending, you know, their $150 a year, instead they're spending $5 when there's like the super match that comes on or something like that. Actually, I think that sounds like a really good idea, because I don't know. I almost like that. I wonder if like $5's the right amount though. Cause some things are like, no, five would be a right amount. So I came up with this solution. So for all those people who don't have Flow, and again, I wish like Flow had 2 computer services so you could at least share with a co-host and choose Flow. All right, but anyway,
yeah, let's not get to that.
But no, what if they did this? I was just talking to the people about it. I was like, I remember that match, and I think what they did was they offered like the Flow subscription for like a monthly fee just so that you could watch the one match, and it ended up crashing. I said it ended up being a good thing for them in the sense that since then their servers are better, they can handle large feeds and everything. But maybe like this would appease everybody. So the big time match comes in like this. We got to concede that regardless of what Flow is doing, and I do think they are doing things for the betterment of the sport and whatnot, they are also still a business. And at the end of the day, if you air all of your content, then for free, then you crash. You can't continue to put it out there. Although there was a time when I used to enjoy Flow because I used to be able to watch a lot of their stuff, and then like almost everything went pro. But that's a whole.
That's like Flow Pro. And
yeah. So, but that's a whole nother thing. So everything's on Flow Pro now. Might as well just call this site. Just like log in when you get to the site. But what I was gonna say is like maybe when the nights like the match that we just had and stuff come on, instead of
have like a one-time fee you can pay.
Yeah, like have a week. Your subscription is for a week, $5 for a week, and you can binge watch Flow. You get the match that you want to watch. It's half the cost.
Weird that I figured that's where you were going with.
Yeah,
no, that does make sense.
It's half the cost of a monthly. Because the monthly thing is like 12, whatever. Just say, all right, we got the Oklahoma State versus Iowa match coming up. It's not on the Big Ten Network because it's
come on,
that's what I'm saying. Anybody who is that much of a fan of wrestling can then say $5, I'll watch
even
it.
If you're
and
not,
then
even if you're not, $5, that's a
$5, and then
a cup of
then you give everybody access to
to
Flow for let's just say 5 days.
Yeah,
because
then they get to see a big match.
You log in on Thursday, you get $5, so you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to binge watch everything else and see everything else that you're missing on Flow that you couldn't watch before. And then I bet some of those people be like, you know what? At the end of the thing, have a sign up that says option to pay $145 the remainder of the thing, if you want, or
so that just sounds like a free subscription, like a free temporary subscription,
like the trial subscription.
Yeah. That's basically what it sounds, but instead you're paying for it. So now that I think about it, that may or may not work, but at the same time, it's a good deal for $5.
No, I'm saying for $5 because we've all done it before with the free week-long subscription that you cancel after a week, and then we've all sometimes hit and forget to cancel.
I think my brother, and I'm not sure, I've been getting a recurring payment from UFC.tv, and I think he might have used my card for a free subscription and never canceled it. So I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, I don't even use UFC.tv. I don't even know.
Does it even exist anymore with ESPN Plus or anything?
No, I don't think so. And I can't find a way to cancel it. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I for a fact didn't do this because I didn't care about the UFC Fight Pass. I was like, I don't care about that stuff.
And especially with their having gone to ESPN Plus and whatnot.
I think he might have.
And see, that's the other kicker is like the people need to realize that like. Yeah, sure, put it on ESPN, but the way even ESPN is going, what is everybody going to do when ESPN, which will do it because they are willing to just be more about money than Flow is, because they are purely. I don't see ESPN as trying to grow any sport. I see them as purely sports broadcasting and making money doing it. Okay, they're about to just go. If this ESPN Plus thing works, right, with kind of what it's doing. It would not surprise me in X number of years, modifications to their system, ESPN being pure subscription-based things. And if you want to watch it, you're going to have to pay for it.
It may be, but the thing is with that ESPN Plus, there's a lot of people who don't like it. I mean, a lot of people.
Because they're already paying for cable, which they feel ESPN should already
Well, no,
be
even though, because like when we did the free trial, it just doesn't work.
Well, that's the thing. They'll have to work. That's what I'm saying. With
it kept crashing.
I say that that's going to happen. And the biggest part that's going to cause issues is people are going to say, we already pay for cable where ESPN is on it. We don't want to pay for ESPN Plus. So what's going to happen, and this is, all right, ESPN will leave cable after. I'm not sure. No.
They make way too much money.
Huh?
They make way too much money.
No. See, Matt, they can make way more money if every last bit of ESPN content is on a subscription-based
thing. Then you're losing NFL. You're losing NFL money.
Huh?
You're losing some basketball money. You're losing tournament coverage for like NBA or NCAA. You're losing tournament coverage for NCAA wrestling as well. You're losing college football. Like, you're losing college football. That's 5 big money. Baseball. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're losing, which who cares about baseball, really? But, like, I mean, that's 6 big sports that you're going to lose money from.
It is big sports, but I'm still saying that they can, whatever they're doing over there, there's enough people that they'll figure out a way. Like, I'm just calling, like, and also, you already see it. Is cable not dying already?
It's a slow death.
It's a slow death. Would that almost be like a nail in the coffin for cable, like in some cases?
If ESPN leaves the cable, then yeah, I would say within 5 years, cable would be dead.
Yeah.
Because right now, when you think of cable TV,
I'm just saying,
ESPN
and I'm
is
not
what
saying,
you
and I'm not even saying within the next 3 years or 4 years.
No,
I'm
no,
saying what's
when
going to
it
happen
happens, or if it
is
happens.
I'm going to say like ESPN is looking forward to this whole thing of like Sling TV, internet based things, picking your channels. Like
Yeah.
they're almost. I mean, the amount of money that like cable negotiations and all that,
Mhm.
like. You just say they can't just sweep the market and say, hey. I mean, I see them figuring out a way to do it, and then like everything's almost subscription based anyway. Hey,
The only problem
are
is you
you?
might take a hit in presentation type stuff though, because like when you get on primetime TV, because then you also have the commercials and all that where you make a lot of money.
They're
So
commercials.
you can have these elaborate
yeah,
presentations.
but
so
commercials
you're
are
gonna
kind of
take a hit.
dying and stuff too. But ESPN has their own production stuff. They're always doing weird and different things.
Yeah, and a lot of that money comes
Yeah.
from different, like from the sports, and then also like the commercials that people pay to have on their programming and stuff. Like,
I mean, but they could also hit it up like, hey, you pay us this much and we're having to pay them. We'll cut out the middleman. Now you only have to pay us this much because we no longer have to pay cable.
yeah, but then I'm saying like because I think that would take enough of a hit where the presentation would go down. You'd end up seeing more of like a basic type look to it. And,
I don't know. It seems like with more and more stuff being able to become accessible, I think that they could find a way to still make it that way. And
I'm not
also
saying
hiring
I'm
them
not
people.
saying it would. Fail.
I just think-
I'm
I
just saying
think-
it would,
no.
it wouldn't be as high
yeah.
dollar.
I just think that that's eventually what's going to happen, and people are going to be like, and it's going to be simple. It's going to be like, you like college football? Here's the cost. ESPN Plus costs this much.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
If they put college football on ESPN Plus, there might be a small scale riot down here in the southeast.
In the Southeast.
Yeah.
But eventually, what's going to happen?
People would riot.
People will riot. But is that going to stop them from doing it?
No, ESPN doesn't care.
Exactly. So what's going to happen? The riot's going to end. Somebody's going to go find a debit card on the riot floor, and
So,
they're
man,
going to
this sucks. Let me give them my money anyway, so I can complain about
and
it.
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. All right, so I'm calling it. That's what's going to happen. Next episode, we got to get ready
We
for
didn't even talk
conferences.
about Ben Askren's fight.
Ben Askren, I can't wait to watch his show, The Funky Show.
See, I don't know if y'all
and I want you guys.
anyone who has any sort of spiritual religious beliefs, pray over this card and make sure absolutely no one drops out because it is a loaded card. Cody Garbrandt, I think, is like the first on the main card. You have Tyron Woodley against Kamaru Usman. That is a wrestling battle. You have Ben Askren fighting. I mean, that should be enough.
That should
to
be
in.
worth it alone.
And
Flo,
yeah,
hack the
John
system
Jones,
and air.
who failed a drug test today, apparently. Picos again. But so it still may be from the early one, but it came up. They're like, he tested for pico amounts of this substance, and so I'm just like, is this gonna happen before every fight, or
yes.
like, what's going on?
So, all right, Flo, since you're with Askren, Rudis, somebody, get us the stream of that for free. Since we
Rudis,
want
sponsor the UFC.
Since we want to
get your name out there.
Since we all want all free stuff, so
Right.
you know,
Rudis, you need to sponsor, start joining in with the UFC so y'all can mingle because you got
bump
Askren.
Reebok,
Yeah.
and then go Rudis.
Oh god, it would kill me if I see Askren come out and he's got like a Rudis something on, even though I know he won't be able to. Like if he snuck it in there because he's a smart guy.
I wonder if like any of the pre-post stuff.
He's gonna come out in Rudis wrestling shoes.
That'd be awesome.
That would be. He's gonna be wearing the Snyder's.
Callaghan's.
Yeah. And he's gonna like hold him up on camera, like, oh sorry, I didn't mean to have.
I gotta take these off.
Like shows the body.
During
Like,
the-
man,
during-
he's nice.
yeah.
Like
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So
it's a long episode.
that was good. Yeah. Well, it's been a little bit, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to steal more cookies from my man here so we can record more. All right, guys. Let us know what you think. Check out Fractal BJJ. Go get some roll soap, and I don't know. Send us some feedback. Let us know what you think. And in case anybody's wondering, no, Flo does not pay us, and no, I don't have a free subscription or anything else, even though I wish I did, because I am just like everybody else. We do want it all
They're
for
gonna
free.
they're gonna give you a
but-
free member. They're gonna hear what I said and they're like, no,
Yeah.
he gets it. This guy
Yeah, so
doesn't.
we'll continue to argue about it. But I think that I don't know, just the way things are trending and the way things are, like I don't know, things are dying out, and it's like we're an a la carte society anyway. Get what you pay for, and we want certain things until we start paying for it, and then we want it all for free anyway. I don't know. So, but we can save yelling at millennials about wanting everything for free.
Instead of paying
anyway
for
later.
free college, how about free flow subscriptions? How about government pays for that? Let's just do that.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
I feel like that would be much more beneficial.
Much more beneficial.
You get kids to learn about wrestling at a young age.
Yeah. So no more need
Did
for
you
safe
see
spaces or anything else.
Before I was gonna say, I'm gonna mention on here, but we gotta stop. But I don't know if you did. The Obsessed Wrestler on Facebook. They put me. They dinged me or starred me or whatever. They recognized me as like top fan or whatever.
Nice.
I was like, I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or if I should be happy about it.
It's wrestling related. We will
Yeah.
take it.
It's like,
It's
how many
good
wrestling memes have I shared that they noticed that, or how many things have I commented on?
I don't know. Every other one.
Yeah, because they put something. They're like, when's the optimal time to
start wrestling?
I almost put it. I was like, well, as an expert on children, as soon as they leave the womb, like jokingly, I was like, people are gonna get super pissed.
No, I commented. I said, you ever see a toddler learn how to stand up?
Yeah.
Perfect form.
Yeah.
Uninterrupted. Push back, they're standing up beautifully. So as soon as you're learning to stand up from a child, then you're good to go.
Maybe even when you're on your knees, you can teach them like little sweet
Oh,
things.
no, they can. Yeah. Perfect. Tech cast. We're gonna get some babies. Anybody want to let us borrow your babies for some tech casts? We're gonna watch them. That's not weird at all.
Yeah, that's
so. All right. I'd say we cut it, but we're not cutting anything out of this joker. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Bye bye.